What is going on, everybody? Hello, hello. Welcome to your Tuesday night entertainment, or maybe it's Wednesday morning for you, but I am joined by some incredible guests tonight. We have Darkestnyte and Tales from the Cryptmancer. Guys, this is my first stream since the launch of Land, since I missed last week due to family being in town and a birthday party. But it feels like so much has happened. You know that saying, right? There's decades where nothing happens, and then there's weeks where decades happen. Well, last week felt like a ton happened in Splinterlands, and it was all land, mostly land related. But I want to first welcome you guys onto the show, and then we can dig into this. I'll throw it to you first, Tails, and then Darkestnyte if you want to go after him. How are you guys doing?
Doing great, man. I've been saying it all week. I mean, the excitement is in the air here for Splinterlands. There is just something electric right now that's happening, and like you mentioned, I mean, it seems to happen in, we have draughts of like releases, and then all of a sudden we have just mad rushes of, you know, drinking from a fire hose. And I think we've been drinking from a fire hose the last week and a half or so. So it's been fun.
Absolutely. What about you, Darkestnyte?
Same, right? I mean, lots of good things happening, lots to be excited about. I think we can all see and hope for a bright future with all the things that have happened this week, right? These are things where we're able to engage right now and, you know, acquire new assets. But I think we can all see kind of where this thing is headed. And I think we're really, really optimistic about what the future holds. So I'm feeling really good right now. But I guess I always feel good, but I feel extra good right now.
Feeling extra good.
Extra good.
Awesome. Well, let's kind of recount, I suppose, the last week, since I wasn't live last Tuesday night. We had Surveying go live.
Yep.
On Wednesday, we did a kind of our group survey. We were all involved with that. Got some really good stuff. And then Tails, you were involved in a really interesting trade, which I haven't had a chance to dive into the video, but I was talking with Darkestnyte earlier today, so we can jump into a little bit of that if you want. But that was a really cool story. And Darkestnyte, I know you've gone out and you've surprisingly, you're selling assets in the game. It's hard for me to believe, but you're not selling because you're trying to exit. You're selling because you're trying to consolidate your land and really focus in on supporting the keep that you purchased. So how and we don't need to dig into all of it if you guys don't want to, but like, how has your first week within Land, the moves that you have been making, felt so far? And do you feel like we're in a bit of a bubble right now and maybe it's a good time to wait, or do you feel like this is the time in which everybody should be acting because bull run is around the corner and before big money comes in, we should be trying to acquire as many land plots as possible? How are you feeling about it, Tails?
Well, I mean, there's two sides of the coin there. I mean, I think there's definitely a group that thinks now's the time to pounce. You know, land is, I'm not sure, I didn't check today, but maybe like $50, $55, $58 when building in a box maybe. And people are pouncing on that. And others are saying, hey, this is the highest it's going to be, you know, sell. So you've got two different factions or two different sides of the, you know, prosternation here, or whatever you want to call it, right? And I'll be honest, I mean, I could see it going both ways here, you know, so I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know which way it's going to go, but I can tell you one thing, I want to have land, and, you know, I'm not really, I mean, how long did it take to get us to this point? It just seems wrong just to start offloading land after all this time when we just surveyed and just like start fire sailing it. I don't know. For me, that just doesn't seem right. It's maybe the smart thing to do. Maybe. I mean, but at the same time, I mean, I fire sailed Riftwatcher cards when Riftwatchers was released, and I would have been better off holding those, honestly. So you just never know. You just never know. The market acts in funny ways, but I can tell you one thing's for certain. The moves that, you know, I'm making, that you're making, that Darkestnyte is making, that everyone's making, when it comes to land, whether it's one plot or whatever you're doing, these are the stories and the tales that we're all going to be telling at Splinterfest and after Darkfest coming forward, because this is what the game is about. It's about, you know, how you played your hand and how you turned basically, you know, dust into gold, right? And we're all trying to make moves, we're all doing things, and this is why we can sit in a bar or sit wherever and talk shop for hours upon end with people, because this is exciting stuff, and we're all kind of weaving our own tales right now. So I don't know. I think it's just the beginning when it comes to land. Land, I think, has so much to offer from a strategic standpoint, and yeah, let's see where it goes.
Yep. What about you, Darkestnyte?
I mean, a lot of the same things, right? I think what's really important is that people understand what they want. This is the time for that, right? So whether you want a whole tract or a whole region, or maybe you want one land, there's a strategy there and there's a plan there. And I got to tell you, we all did the group, survey, and you guys kept asking me, because I mean, mine was kind of lackluster, right? And everybody kind of asked me like, dude, how you feeling? And I was happy for everybody else, but I was disappointed for myself. Yeah. And it was during that moment, right, that I said, okay, I didn't get what I wanted. How do I get what I want?
Yeah.
Right. How do I, like, as Tail said it perfectly, right? Turn dust to gold. How do I turn this lackluster performance tonight into something better? And then the very next morning, I think it's 2 days later, right? I kind of, I just felt how I felt. And then I talked with you, and then you helped me FOMO in.
No.
But there was an opportunity there, right? We both saw the opportunity. Yeah. And then I took the opportunity, got my keep, and that became the nucleus of everything else. Yeah. And then I started selling all the other things that really weren't the things that I wanted. Sure. And now I feel like I have like a mini track, right? Yeah. I don't have a whole track, and I don't want a whole one.
How many plots of land do you have together?
So all together,
or like not next to each other, but just in the same region, I guess.
So in the same region, I have 11 in Yorkdale.
Nice.
Right.
Okay.
And the quality is really good. Right. So I feel pretty good about that. And again, do I want to create an empire? Well, I feel like I already did. Right. And so now, and there's a term, right? I think Walking Keys and Gang talked about it, like even last night. So I play Stellaris, right? And so there's a term we use in Stellaris is you can either build wide, right? Which means you have a lot of territory to cover, or you can build high, right? And you have really good quality assets in a very small geographic area. And what I think I've set up is the opportunity to build, actually not saying build high, it's build tall, right? Sure. I'm going to build tall, and I'm going to put better assets on a smaller number of plots. And I feel really good about that strategy, because that's what I do anyway in a lot of the games that I play. So I think for me, what I have in terms of land assets is perfect. I don't feel the burning desire to buy a whole bunch more, but I might build in terms of quality, right? I might get an epic here. Sure. I still am eyeballing, occupied land.
I know you want an occupied
one, right?
somewhere,
and I want one, but in the region I'm in, like, nobody's selling anything, right? No, and when they do, I grab it real quick if it's a good price. But no one seems to want to sell this land, man. So anyway, I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I wasn't asking with any specific agenda, but I just wanted to get a read of the room in terms of like how this past week has been. You and I have talked a lot, but I wanted to hear Tails' side as well, and for the audience, which I'm going to say hello to now, to hear how it's been for you guys. So I don't think there was anybody on before. So shout out to No Empathy. Hope everything's all good. But just want to say hey to the folks, because everybody's coming into the chat now, and we got, oops, what am I looking at here? Bajoke, Crypto Ace, Rising Star, Twitch, Darren, JHU Leader, Jobby Saint, Solving Chaos, what's up? Shiloh, Skyer, NJ. So we have Tales After Night. I think I like Tales After Dark better.
Yeah.
But there's also Tales of the Cryptmancer After Sounds of the Darkest Night. That sounds like the subtitle for like a book series.
Hey, I apologize. I got to drop off this real quick, but I'll be right back as soon as I can.
I hope so.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I don't mean to say it like that. So, yeah. All right. Let me go ahead and actually pull up my screen here, so it's not just my face on. But I'll give another shout out to who else we got here? Crypto Ace, Sec2 Raider, Cray Mundre, Kyle Yup, Marcio Spy, Donut Lord, Elder Cleton. What's going on? So, guys, is there another giveaway for like Ape in April? Isn't it like a bunch of ruses? Don't I need to be like spinning some wheel at some point?
Yeah, you can spend it 3 times per hour of stream after sound. So it uses the same CMS tool, the promo deal, and yeah.
Thank you very much. I have it open, so let's go ahead and refresh that, and we'll do it on the 20s, guys. Oh wait, no, never mind. We'll do it on the 15s because there's 3 of them in the hour. So we'll come back to that in a little bit. Thank you, Tails. I forgot to check the Discord beforehand. So Tails, to your point, and I mentioned this to Darkestnyte earlier. What's so different about flipping, right? And I, for lack of better words, like flipping land or like buying and selling, is these are truly, in a way, one-of-one, non-fungible, right? Because it's like, if I sell 51,346, that specific plot, there is no guarantee that I'll be able to get it back if the person who buys it chooses to never sell. Exactly. Whereas like flipping cards, it's like, it doesn't matter, you know, who you buy it from, who you sell it to, like they're all essentially the same. They don't have that history kind of built into them, which I'm hoping that they do at some point, because it'd be awesome to be like, oh, I owned a card that like Matt opened in a pack, right? This gold foil, or Matt like played it in this battle. Like if they can ever get that across, you know, that metadata into the NFTs, that'd be pretty cool. But it's so defined for land that I'd be afraid to sell anything that I wasn't absolutely sure I didn't need. So yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from, where it's like, it's difficult to play that game. You don't want to sell, you don't want to do anything. But I don't want to also be paralyzed with fear. So sorry, I feel like I cut you off.
No, I mean, it's true. I mean, look, there's opportunities right now in the market if you want to bob and weave, and if you want to, you know, dive in there, roll up your sleeves. Absolutely. You know, for me, I mean, there's just too many unknowns with 1.5 and what they might change there with 2.0. I just don't want to make a mistake where I go back and look at it and say, man, you know, I had this keep, or I had this piece of land and I sold it. Why did I do that? Now, there's opportunity cost that I'm giving up right now. Like maybe I could be selling land for, you know, $70, $60 or whatever. And then, you know, I could be buying epics, and maybe epics are worth more in the future. And I look back and say, man, I should have done that. But you know what? I mean, that's you have to be comfortable with what you want to do. And, you know, for me, I'm okay, you know, sitting on the sidelines and watching and see what happens, because everything right now in the market is speculation. Like we've had speculation on the whole Caldera mountain thing, and you know, that's subject to change. You know, look what happened with summoners. You know, if you bought summoners for land, well, you got a lot of summoners, which is not a bad thing, but you're not using them on land necessarily cost effectively or getting crazy bonuses for those. So just, you know, you can do your own research right now, but you don't know how the story is going to end. So just be careful.
Yeah.
I
think bringing up the summoners was a huge point, mainly because like, look at how many people were upset. They speculated a little too much based on what the team kind of just put out there as like a feeler. And sure, the thing is, I'm not trying to say like, you know, I kind of had a thought too that summoners would be important, but it wasn't set in stone. And so before I make like any major moves, I kind of want to wait to see what comes out. And if that means that I miss part of, you know, the run up, then that's fine, because at least I'll know what I'm buying will have value for what I'm trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Crypto is saying there will all be cards to buy. Land, maybe not. We still want that moon land. New Age is saying, I had similar experience to Tails, but in larger magnitude, 50% chance for a castle, but got 5 keeps instead.
That's a great problem to have.
Indeed. So I know things didn't, you know, necessarily work out the way that you wanted to, but I believe you have 2 full tracks now.
In
addition to what you have in Area 51. So
I do.
What, if you don't mind me asking, what is your game plan with working those? Have you so first of all, have you surveyed them? Secondly, like, are you eating up cards off the market? How, like, what's your plan?
So here's the thing is, I have surveyed both tracks. I was not planning on having 2 tracks. I was only planning on having 1 track, and I was just starting to do the math on how I could staff that, and it was looking pretty reasonable. And then I just happened to you know, make some moves, and now I have 2. So, you know, it's funny with this game, and I've said this on my streams and my videos before as well, is, you know, I always have kind of like a top 3 kind of things that I'm trying to do in the game at any one point in time, or any areas of focus or assets that I want to acquire. And it changes literally town hall to town hall, week to week. And my land strategy literally changed from Sunday night to Monday morning. And, this is just the way it works sometimes. And you just got to roll with the punches. And so for me now, I probably have more land than I can work day one. And that's probably a fact, right? But that's okay because, I'm hoping to, be able to use a land scholar program. Now I know land is not going to be available for renting and delegation, the land itself, which is what you would typically think of a scholar program. But in this case, what I'm thinking is if the cards, like if I can rent cards or delegate cards from one account and stake them on land on another account, that opens doors for land scholarship going the other direction. So I can hold the land and scholar the cards to people that have cards that don't have land. And then I can manually, share the rewards of the resources or the profits. So I may look to do something like that, depending technically on how, when Land 1.5 is released, how they address the technical issue of rental cards or staking cards. So we'll see how that goes. But even if I can't do that, even if I can't, essentially work with the community out there to do something like that, I'm okay. I'm okay having a little bit of, wilderness on because I'm working. I'll be take seeds or call that and put it back into the land. Now, and I mentioned this on my stream, I think it was today when I did the survey. The way I look at it is if you look at Pretoria as, let's say, the United States, circa 1700, right? You've got a whole new continent that's just unveiled to settle. Would you want to be, New York in 1700? Or would you want to be like Utah or Wyoming in 1700, right? The early bird gets the worm, right? Is the point when it comes to real estate value. And, if you were like a land baron in New York from like 1700 to 1800, well, you could just go and buy whatever you wanted. Sure. Take the train out to Wyoming, whatever, and just say, hey, it's all mine. Because
Wyoming's
of all
still the Wild West.
Yeah, because of all the work you did up front early. So early movers, I think, are going to have a significant advantage. That doesn't mean that you should just go fire sale all your land now just to, be able to work the land you have early, because like you said, there's no guarantee you'll get it back. And if you do get it back, it might be spread all over and it might be at a multiple of cost. So idle land is not a bad thing as long as you're using all of your assets optimally to work the land that you do have today. So that's my strategy. And, I'm okay with that. Again, do what's within your means. If you have one plot, work the heck out of that one plot and make it as profitable as possible and look for partnerships. I really believe that land is honestly going to be bigger than guilds for building community and building partnerships and politics and organizations, regardless of where the Secret of Pretoria goes, the project and the research stuff. I just think you're going to see, region discords pop up and territory discords pop up, alliances formed, and really, I think you're going to see a lot more interaction with the community with land than you have with guilds. Just my opinion.
I think you nailed it. We're already seeing that, right? Like how many people are looking at where their land plot is versus like where their friends are or where people that they know are. So it's definitely going to be a much more social thing than our automated ranked plays at this point.
And I hope that the team recognizes that and does things to encourage that, right? I mean, because again, we all see the land, but if you own a region, but you're by yourself, right, then you really can't maximize it. I think the players are the most valuable thing in all of this, right? And even the quality players, right? So there are some players that are, mildly engaged, right? They've been playing for maybe a couple of years, but there are some players that are all in, right? This is what they do every day, all day. And they're really laser focused on Splinterlands, right? And would you rather be with those people if you're going to go in on land, or would you want somebody that just stops in, once a month or twice a month?
No, 100%. I mean, we've talked about this Darkestnyte where it's just like, who do you want in your tract or in your region with you, right? Like there's pros and cons to both, because if you have people that right? Or sorry, let me just start with the most basic. If you're the only one in your region, then it's all on you, or you're the only one in your tract. It is all on you to produce everything. So you don't get the benefit of cooperation with other people, but you also don't have the risk of somebody quitting the game or losing their password or whatever the case is, right? And that land just essentially becoming idle over time. On the flip side, as I was saying, like you can get that cooperation, and you can, and to what Tails was saying, like you can get so much more out of your land if it's just like, hey, you know what? I can only put, my collection or what I have available can only produce like 50K production points. But if I partner up with you, we can get 200,000 collection, and then if we split that 50-50, it's just like I'm coming out ahead doing 2x what I did, and I'm not using my cards, right? So it's just like everybody kind of wins in that scenario. So
what's really funny about this is up till now, our whole engagement with the community, with each other, has been in competition, right? We do brawls, we do ranked battles, we're fighting against each other. This is really a big change where now there's another option, which is to work together to get the results we're looking for. And I wonder what those rewards will look like, right? Will they be equal to ranked rewards in tournaments? I'm hoping they will be, right? So it's a different game to actually play.
Yeah,
absolutely.
To Tails' point, if I could just cut in real quick, I actually worry about guilds a little bit, because I think Tails is spot on with like land is going to create so much more of an engaged experience potentially, right? Again, well, that's all speculation, but so much more of an engaged social experience that I hope that they can do more with guilds. So that it's just like, hey, I have like 2 different circles of friends, right? Like I got my Area 51 guys and I have my Archmage Arias. But I wouldn't want anything to ever overshadow guilds, just because like I think that that's a cool element as well. And I don't know if there's a way to like fuse that with land in some way.
I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, our guilds, our guild halls, our arenas, they're nowhere, right? We get some assigned to us. But wouldn't it be great if we could, if someone has a castle, keep, or just even a plot of land, and say, hey, I want to give a location to this actual building. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, no, totally agree. Skyer's asking for investment advice. Should I buy 6 common plots or 6 lottery tickets?
Wow. but everyone has their own story, right?
Yeah. We can't give financial advice. Just before we can't give financial advice. But what would you do, Darkestnyte? What would you do, Tails?
What would I do? What's the actual question? So should he
buy
real lottery tickets or
no, buying plots that are unsurveyed?
Oh, I did them both, right? So I started out with having unclaimed plots, right? And I bought more because what I went on was a hunt for a keep, right? I did that for a couple of days, right? And there were a couple of other players that are doing it, but when you look at it, it's for each track that you find that does not have a revealed keep, it's a 1 in 100 chance, right? Those are terrible odds, right? How much will you end up spending when it's all over? Potentially a lot, or you could get lucky like you did and get it on the first one, right? So it's really what your tolerance is for risk and how much you're willing to spend in the end. For me, I felt it was better to just go after the card that I wanted, get that, and then build around it, which is exactly what happened.
What about you, Tails? What do you think? Would you go for 6 common plots, or would you roll the dice, or would you split the difference? Because I think that's what I'd do.
It depends on your risk profile. It goes back to Darkestnyte. Are you a gambler, and are you feeling lucky? Because here's the thing. You can get like 2.5 plots of land that are surveyed, where you can get 1 roll of dice. Basically, it's like maybe like $60 to $150 roughly. Sure. I don't know the exact price, but here's the thing. It's if you're feeling lucky and you roll that 1 dice and you get 1 common plot, well, now you're done. Now instead of having 2.5 common plots, you have 1. So you have, you got to live with it. But if you roll a magical rare or something with that one dice roll, now you're arbitraging Chaos Legion or Riftwatcher packs. You just basically got a gold foil legendary. Now you can buy more packs. So now you can keep going. Again, it depends on your risk profile. If you're happy rolling the dice and getting one common plot, okay, why not? Why not take the risk and see what you can do? You roll a keep.
Yeah.
Now you got, how many you got? Probably like, 50 common plots. So, it just depends on your risk profile. Just be happy with your decision, whatever way it goes.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, in my mind, 2 commons equals a legendary, right? I mean, that's the difference between a legendary, right? Is a 100% production value. Well, that's double.
I think there's some other elements in there too, but
Well, yeah, you're going to have to stake more cards, right? But eventually, you're going to have the double the production right there, right? At least that's the way that I look at it.
But this is also where others are saying that the market is skewed right now, and you can take advantage of it because people are saying that people are putting too much weight on the legendary plots, and there's money to be made. If you can sell a legendary plot for 1,000, and you can get literally, I don't know, how many is that? 15 common plots is just more. If your ultimate goal is land ownership and production, that's the way to go. Now it depends on what your goal is. Like if you're a whale and you're sitting on gold foil alphas or whatever, and you have a legendary totem, yeah, then that legendary plot's better for you because you're gonna be able to ramp up, that production. But if you're just a normal, player, if you put 100,000 PP, on that legendary, you're getting 200,000 PP. We could do the same thing with maybe 3 plots of common land. So it depends on the individual's collection and what they're capable of doing, what they want to do from an end goal perspective. There is arbitrage opportunities in the market depending on where you think things are going. And again, there's some I guess educated guesses you have to make to find the values, but there are values to be found.
Yeah. You know what I want to see, Tails? So I don't know where your land is. I know where I go to After Sounds all the time, right? I always check it out, and I would go, "Oh, that could have been mine," but yeah, not salty at all. I would love to see where your land is. Like where's your stuff at?
My first tract with the Alliance is on 98, which is the land of sun, I guess. It's 98.6 is the tract.
Did you just say with the Alliance?
Yeah, we have an alliance of content creators and other folks. So it's like Steve, Bulldog, Gene Pool, Dave McCoy, Plato, and the Splinter Forge team.
I hope your Alliance somehow makes it into the lore because it just sounds awesome.
Ooh, you're right in the middle of. Okay, so you're right in the middle of the Wild Northeast.
Yeah, and I've got my tract is basically on top of that mountain in the south kind of.
I'm going to share it just so if you want to see it. Give me one sec.
All right. Oh, you're gonna share it. Let me.
Yeah.
Add that to stream.
Okay. So you're gonna have to guide us here. So
if you do show no colors on the right hand side to see the land itself.
Yep.
So I'm in the south there, right on top of that mountain there.
Right here?
Yes. That's me.
Nope, that looks like Stevers.
Should be.
There you go. That's you.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. All right. So let's show colors. All right, so you have some mountain, you have some forest, a few hills, a little swamp. You have some of everything.
Yeah, got a little bit of everything. That particular tract had a lot of mountains and plains. And then the second tract is in 66.8.
Well, hold on. We got to see your keep, man. Hold on. Don't go like that.
Oh, look at that thing. It looks so sexy. I haven't even looked at this view from my keep.
Yeah, that's nice. That yeah. So when I come to attack,
dude, nobody can sneak up on you.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna have to fight it. It's on a hill. No, it's on a plain. So
I'm getting like Age of Empires vibes right now. They can't sneak up on you. You just got all the defenses.
Yeah. Okay. So hold on. And you got another one. Hold on. So you have this, which is a legendary natural. So let's see that. Okay. So you get a nice legendary. Cool. All right. All right. Now, where's your other one?
66 is in the Central Fire and Novstock.
Yeah, I know that. Oh, look at that. See, that's a lot of mountains. So let's see where yours is.
So I'm in track 8, which is kind of in the southeast.
So right here. I bet you that's it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. So I want to look at. I love looking at the keeps and such. Hold on. Oops. Hold on. What's happening? Okay, so that's just a random.
Look at
go back. So now we're going to
legendary.
go. There we go. So you got a legendary natural. And you got 2 legendaries. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
And here's your keep.
Ooh, 2 legendaries and a mythic inside your tract.
Yeah.
That was pretty sweet.
So Central Fire Badlands. So yeah, that's awesome.
I was hoping for a castle underwater, but we didn't get it. But that's okay.
Have you seen those underwater keeps and castles? They're crazy.
No, I haven't.
Oh, wait, hold on.
All right, pull one up, Paul. I need to catch up on the chat real quick.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff coming in. So if you can pull one up. New Age is saying we need a group for Land of Prosperity. I just got invited to one by someone on Discord. So once I get that, New Age, I can invite you in. But I don't know if there's an official one. I have like an Area 51 channel in my Discord. I don't, but Area 51 is so much bigger than just people who are here.
But hold on.
That's not underwater.
Well, hold on. So this is weird. So they change, right? So periodically, what'll happen is, wait, hold on. Let's see if I can find them. Give me a second. They have a shield over them. So maybe it's this one. That's River. Hold on. Yeah. So you can find them, right? So what happens is if they're truly underwater, they'll have a bubble, like a dome over them, which is actually pretty crazy. I'm sure we could find one here, but they look phenomenal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a book that Walking Keys and I have read, and there's a castle underneath. Is
this the Cradle series?
It is, and so
when we
saw it, we're literally like, "Whoa!"
Thought about that.
Like that is the place called Ghostwater, right? And it looks absolutely phenomenal.
All right, Crypto Ace is calling me out on giveaways, so we need to jump into that.
Let's rock. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so, but I do want to try and catch up with some of the chat here. Yeah. I don't know. How come? Oh, here are all the users. All right, if you've not commented in a minute, just go ahead and comment. And then we'll pull 2 ruses for now, and then we'll do another one right before the stream ends. Big Barger saying hearing tales opening with folks in his area makes me think the area is probably going to be really, really good compared to other places. What do you think? I don't know what he means by that, Tales. What do you make of that?
Well, it's no gank land, but we're respectable people, so we'll be all right.
Oh, you just want to hang with Tales? Oh, well then, yeah, absolutely. Javi says,
do you have a name for your area? I know it's the Alliance, right? But what do you call your area?
We haven't really worked it out yet. It's not been a priority on naming things right now. We're just trying to focus. Actually, we're trying to figure out how we can just swap commons and rares for this, amongst us, just to make sure we get, good diversity and mix and stuff, because there's no transportation fees or anything within a region.
Right.
So, if someone basically, I have 50 planes, I can trade someone planes that has grain, if someone has, stone or wood or something. So that way we can, if you wanted to diversify in something like an alliance, it's easy just to swap stuff around. It doesn't hurt anyone. It actually just helps, the region overall. So
that is fantastic. Yeah.
So Liberty Guy saying I have my solo epic plot in the Broken Lands neighbors with Darkestnyte and Walking Keys.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. We only got 33 eligible users, but you know what? Hey, what happened? We missed Monster March. There's only 53 people here live tonight. Let's go ahead and pick a winner. We'll pick 2. So first one is Virus. What's up, Virus? You just lurking? Come on, man. You're not gonna jump on stream with us and chat? I'm guessing you're gonna get a Bruce. Is it all just 1 BCX, or I'm sure there's some gold in there, right? This is frozen.
I'm still going. Look at that.
That's still going. All right. Congrats to Virus. Is he even in the chat or is he just like, oh, there he is. Sweet. All right. We'll do one more.
He can put that on his land.
Marcio Spy. Congratulations on the win. I hope you get a gold foil. I don't know how many there are left in the account, but ooh, I see them flashing by.
I saw the gold flash. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, you got one BCX. Hey man, this is 50 cents. Ruse has not come down in price like people were expecting,
which is surprising, right? I would have figured that it would have been. Yeah.
I mean, like, there's just they're not gonna be any more printed, so it's like you got to get yours or lose out. I got mine to level 8, so I have 220 BCX, and I think I'm happy with that. True Strike would be cool. Yeah. Or the extra speed would be cool, but I have so much I need to focus on with land. There's just not enough.
You know, I had to get my gold maxed out version, and
you did that early on.
Yeah, I did, and it was just funny, right? Because I always wonder if it's a bad decision, right? And when the price didn't drop, I was like, okay. Yeah. Oh, so here are mine. Nope, I'm sorry. So I actually put mine like it's literally contiguous. And then I needed some swamp, right? Because I'm a death battle mage, right? So you gotta have a little swamp there in the swamp area. But I think I'm done, right? So for there, you know, it's those, and then I have a few that I have up for sale in other regions, right? But just hearing Tail say, you know, maybe we shouldn't sell them because I don't need them now to fund the acquisition of more land. So I might just take them off the market and just hold on to them. So, and then we have yours.
It's going to be area. So, yeah.
It's going to be so cool. 51.
Area 51. Okay, here, pull mine up. I have a question for you guys, and I want to get it. I want to get into the deep hypotheticals here, so so that I can shake the Papa Bear title just for a minute.
For a second.
Yeah. We're all obviously bullish on land, but I want us to get stupidly optimistically bullish on where you could see land going in the future, or what you would like to see with your land overall. You know, there's always talk about like metaverse or, you know, digital whatever, or just having like a room or a space that you can customize. So like, I'm curious to know, like, what would you love to see? And we'll say 5 years to give it like the next cycle, right? You know, for Bitcoin to do its thing, and for hopefully a lot more players to come into the space, a lot more resources within the team. I'll start just to give you guys a chance to think about it a little bit further. But I don't even think that this is huge. I think that's something that it could be implemented within the next couple of years easily. But there's a lot of virtual or digital spaces right now, especially with projects on other blockchains, or with projects like, if you've heard of Spatial, where like you can go in and design this kind of metaverse place where people can go in and it's like your room or your office, but they can go in and then just like see all this cool stuff that you own or that you want to show off or whatever the case is. I would love to see something like that implemented in land, where it's just like, if you have a plot and you have a building there, or you have, you know, a keep or castle, whatever the case is, people can virtually step into your land, and it'll just be like a room, but you can customize it as such. And there's going to be some limitations on making sure, you know, stuff is not, you know, or was it not safe for work, or not safe for work, or PG-13, whatever they want to do with it. Or if you're going to promote things, and maybe they allow you to promote things, right? That'll be like one of the benefits of like digital real estate. It's just like people can go in and be like, oh, you know, Darkestnyte's pushing some, I don't know, some new merch, the new Darkestnyte merch that's coming out, right? And so you'll have like a screen there that's showing it off, and people can visit your land and get like a coupon or something. You know what I mean? Like it'd be cool for them to implement real world stuff that we're already seeing in a lot of other projects. Yeah. They can't do that now, obviously, but I'm hoping that that's something that they can accomplish over the next couple of years. Yeah. But if either of you have ideas or a wish list of what you would like to see, I want to open the floor up, and whoever feels comfortable going first, or you don't have to, but if you want to.
I got you, After Sound. I got something.
Let's go.
So if I can, Darkestnyte, let me interject here and give you a vision. So the game before coming to Splinterlands that I played was Elder Scrolls Online. And if you're not familiar with Elder Scrolls Online, Elder Scrolls is a MMO, online MMO that has a kind of open world feel. It's very, very big. And it has, you can basically purchase your own keeps and homes and castles and stuff. And basically it has like you can build furniture and items and, make your own home and stuff, like however you want to design it. It's kind of like I don't know what they call it. It's like it's like a cut doll house or whatever, virtual doll house. But imagine this: if Splinterlands, the company, lays the foundation of NFT land, which they're basically creating, the foundation of NFT land. That's really the only working version here for land concepts in the NFT world for the most part. The other land stuff out there in crypto is kind of a joke. But if they can partner, let's say they partnered with Bethesda or whoever on Elder Scrolls Online and said, hey, we want to make, not Elder Scrolls Online, we don't want to make Tamriel or whatever, we want to make Praetoria. We want to use your engine, link our NFTs to your technology using Unity or whatever they're using. And basically, we want to create Praetoria, the map version that you're displaying on your screen, and we want to NFT it. So the wood, the grain, the chairs, the tables, the thrones, whatever, all NFTs that instead of an Elder Scrolls Online that you buy with fiat and you just pay to the company to use the items in the game that you can never resell, you can never get your value. Like I have a whole bunch of castles and stuff in Elder Scrolls Online just sitting idle. I can't do anything. I can't get any money from it. But if I could own land in Praetoria and they could replicate it onto like an Elder Scrolls Online MMO that I could go in and play,
that'd be cool.
And then all the assets were NFT based, so I could buy, sell, and it was my land in reality. You have no idea how excited I would be. And that would just open up. The technology is there.
Yeah,
let's not joke ourselves. It could happen literally, possibly by next year, if a strategic partnership was created, where they integrated the blockchain technology of the NFTs to basically Elder Scrolls Online's existing computer game and just made Praetoria like that. So they could take the map that Nate's created, basically replicate it digitally, and say, hey, here's Aftersound's Keep. You own it. You can go in it. Here's the new game mode that you go into. Here's the client. Have at it. And now, you basically own the digital dollhouse of customizing your keep. And I think your keep. What type of land is your keep on? Can we see it?
Mine is forest.
Forest.
Yeah, where are you? Which one are you in?
That one right there, I think.
That's Chunies. Hold on.
I'm right next.
Oh, there you go. Oh, I hit it almost immediately. Hold on. Rarity. So here we go. Aftersound. Let's go. Look at that.
There you go.
In the forest.
Look at that. Ain't that pretty?
Yeah, I mean, imagine just basically being able to, instead of take a portal out of Splinterlands, the ROI investing DeFi portion of the game, and actually play an MMO-based game where you are, a battle mage, and you own this keep and you can, fight monsters and stuff, and then buy the NFTs to make your castle cool and unique, or your lands, build towns in your land,
That'd be awesome. I mean, there's no doubt the technology is there. I think what we lack right now is resources, motivation, and probably some kind of connection to make that happen. But it would be really cool. What about you, Darkestnyte? Anything on your wish list?
Yeah, so I think for me, it's again a place that drives more engagement, right? So I like Tail's idea, right? That's definitely doable. But I would think in the near term, what I would like to see are basically mini games, right? That we could do things, right? Like I'd love to see events pop up, right? So for example, I'd love to see something like a dragon that pillages the area, right? And you have to put together a team and take the dragon out, and maybe you get some rewards for doing that, right? Yeah. Maybe it decimates half of your tract, and you spend the next.
Oh, then you have to rebuild it. So you got to
rebuild everything, right?
That's fine. Burn that easy.
There's a benefit to doing it, right? Because if maybe your area gets decimated, and because it got decimated, there are now new resources that you can bring to bear, right? Maybe you find some dragon's teeth, right? Like whatever it's going to be, right? So I think, I mean, again, I think we have a skeleton of what this could be, and again, I've described the land that we currently have like 1 BCX cards, right? We all know that 1 BCX cards are not really useful unless you're playing at the lowest levels of the game, right?
Sure.
But over time, we're going to level up these lands, and there's no telling what things we'll be able to do with them, right? So what I'd like to see is land that is relevant to our current game that we have, right? Where we do ranked battles and tournaments, right? So it influences that. I would love to see it somehow be tied to tower defense, right? That would be great, right? So I mean, again, tower defense, there were maps that really refer to the places that we're at, right? So what does that look like? I don't know that I want it to be tied to GLX, but because that's different, right? I don't want to see a soccer ball come and, you know, on my property. But again, there are interactions there that I think would be just interesting. And if it's not your thing, then no big deal.
Sure.
And I think that to wrap it up, what I would really love to see is a VR interface where I could just hang out on the parapet of my keep, look out across a vista, and just say, "Yes, I've done it.
I'm here." Yeah. All right, we have a last minute or late surprise for you all, and I'm going to get an answer from this gentleman as well. But welcome, Mr. Walking Keys.
Gentlemen.
All right, so
what do we call this group now?
I don't even know. So Keys, I'm just gonna throw you into the fire right now, because I asked both Tails and Darkestnyte what is on your wish list. Let's give it a 5-year time frame and imagine unlimited resources for the team, right? Let's say Bitcoin goes to the moon, team has unlimited resources. What do you want to see on land, or what would you like to see on land within the next, we'll say, 5 years?
Ooh, I would like to see more options for expanding out our potential NFT businesses, because the whole reason I wanted to get into land is because now I become a totem manufacturer, I become a spell manufacturer, a card manufacturer, and I can sell those cards and make a profit at that. And so it's like a little business, like Matt said. So I would like to see that expanded out and find different ways that different people could actually have almost not maybe a storefront, but have their own business inside of the inside of Pretoria, and that is contributing to the ecosystem. I would love to see like the entrepreneurship side expand too, because that's what I'm most excited about with land.
Man, you know what I'm expecting to see as I drive down in VR in my virtual Pretoria is I'm going to see billboards on everybody's plots that I know of with advertisements for parachute planes.
I would love that. Can you imagine how many people would fly safely?
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Be like, come to land XYZ and get your parachute planes here. Cool, man. So Icy Flow is saying land schmand or whatever. You guys are drinking too much Kool-Aid. Now, Icy Flow, I did ask everybody here to take a shot of Kool-Aid before answering that question. So, you know, I think this is really far out in terms of what we can expect. But yeah, overall, a lot of cool answers. I think that the sky is the limit. Also time and resources and all that. So hopefully we'll get some of that stuff within the near future. But Keys, I asked both of these guys early on how their land experience has been so far. Let me phrase it that way.
Yeah.
It's been about a week. How has your land experience been? What are you looking to get from it? What has been great? What has been not? And where are you looking to go from here?
Yeah, dude, great question. I'm pretty excited. I got a rare and an occupied right beside each other. And
Nice.
Then I got a group of 10 that had a bulk of my rares, my magicals, my stuff like that. Magical rare, some good cards.
You got quite a few magical.
Yeah, definitely got, I think 5 in that one area or something. So those are my 2 main areas. And I have other plots that are at other places that I am now looking to consolidate and try to get into the regions that I'm in, and at least to the territories that I'm in. Okay. That's going to be a little difficult. I still plan on having, if I can, maybe 1 magical plot in each territory, just to be able to use that towards that secret of Pretoria. So no matter which territory wins, I'm part of it. So yeah, I mean, and it's not that big of an investment at this point in the game. You know, you can, so my experience has been very good. I wish I had maybe done a few things differently. I bought a bunch of DECB. I kind of wish I bought more And then, but right now I'm just building up some powder to. I think there's going to be a pullback in the prices for some of the assets between now and 1.5. So that's what I'm kind of gearing up for. I'm not just going to bulk up and buy a bunch of single plots because I just don't have the cards. I don't have 50K DEC to start each one of these to ramp it up. I'd rather, as Darkestnyte says, build up and not out. And so that's kind of my plan, is to really focus on my little two areas. One is going to be really dedicated towards, possibly resources. The other one's going to be more versatile. So we'll see. I will say, I did buy one plot for like $80 in Veritas Region 1, because I think owning a plot in Veritas will be like a status symbol at some point. So.
Aren't you trying to sell yours for like a ton of money, Darkestnyte? Because it's going to be a status symbol too.
For 1,000, but after this conversation, that I kind of take things and process it, and I make decisions based on that. And selling it now might be a little bit premature.
Even for $1,000?
Even for $1,000, I think that's really premature. So I got to think about it, right? Because what would I do with that $1,000? I would probably buy more land with it, right? I would consolidate, right? But where would I consolidate to? Because I'm good with where I am. But what I find interesting,
that's a Rooney, man.
Well, see, there you go. I knew you'd have the answer, right? So, but what's interesting about all of these conversations is how serious we're all taking it, right? This does not feel like a game, because games, we're going to go play some games and whatever. No, this sounds very serious. It sounds like any other, conference call or business, conversation I've had, and it's super serious, right? And so at the end of the day, I hope that the level of energy and effort that we're going to put in is rewarded at some point in the future. That's really the answer to my question, right? There's things that we can be pie in the sky, right? But what I really hope is that the effort we put in, the staking that we put in, the buildings that we build, that at the end, in 5 years, we look back and say it was completely worth it. That's what I really want.
Yep. All right, hold on. It's 8:52. I want to run one more giveaway, guys. So if you have not already, or if you've not chatted in a minute, go ahead and do that. I'm going to refresh the page as well.
Yep.
And to Keys' point, before I catch up on the chat real quick, to Keys' point, I do think that there will be a potential pullback as well, mainly because, I think it's going to be a while for land phase 1.5. As much as it hurts my heart to say that and accept the reality, they gave a rough time frame of end of the quarter, which I'm assuming is like end of June. So when May rolls around and there's like no updates, I feel like people are gonna be like, "What the hell is this? When land?" So there could be like a period of frustration, and in that time when people are getting impatient and trying to make moves, the market could take a little bit of a dip just because of that, because there's lack of engagement. But Virus is saying if money. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, or any other shiny object pops up between now and 1.5. So any big promo card, any big announcement to. Like even the two games, GLX and Tower Defense, possibly nodes, like all of these could change buying habits pretty quickly if something else pops up, and people can sell off plots cheap just to get into those other things.
Indeed. All right, let's go ahead and pull the winner. Virus is saying if money was an option, use GPT to give all cards an AI personality. Then you could go to your land in VR and actually have conversations with the characters. Oh no, they're just gonna complain to me that all I do is feed them, and it's just digital slavery. For you guys, for your land so spread out, how are you going to feed your workers? Also, congratulations to our Loki. You win, most likely a ruse, but hopefully a gold one for your sake. So my line is not spread out. I only have a couple, and it sounds like Darkestnyte is consolidating. Congrats, Aro Loki. But for Tails and Walking Keys, I don't know if you want to take that question and give like a 1 or 2 minute answer, because we're coming up on time here.
Yeah, I can start. I have 2 tracks, so both of them have ways to produce grain in those tracks, so I'm not concerned about the tracks. The one the group survey that we did after Sound in, I think it was 99, Gorendale. So I've got 2 magical lands there that I'll probably be using to farm secrets or research tokens. Nice. And what I plan to do is basically just have the third, because I sold some land there, I have 1 extra plot. I'm probably just going to have it store a building and just buy grain off the market and store it in the building to feed those other 2 plots. Now you'd say, well, isn't that going to cost you? No, I mean, I can sell grain in my tract region, and I can buy grain in another region and avoid, transfer costs. So it should be fine. And that's kind of where I'll keep things for right now.
Yeah. What about you, Keys? Or are you just going to try and continue consolidating?
Yeah. I definitely don't think where I am is where I'm going to end up, to be honest. And part of the reason why I'm looking to pick up more plots in my 2 areas, one of them I don't have any grain on that one. So I would like at least 1 plot that is generating some grain. So it is in the back of my mind. But right on my main 10 plots, I've got grain, and I primarily ore. So I'll be the ore guy.
I feel like I'm this is not based off of any data that I've calculated out, but it just feels like grain's going to be super cheap. I don't know, like 1 DEC is obviously not very efficient if you're going to pay for 1 DEC, but I'm just thinking that a lot of people are probably going to have their weakest plots just farming grain. Now you could, because everybody wants Secret of Pretoria or SPS, you could have a situation where there's a lack of grain. And so that price actually rises close to that 1 DEC max, that you can buy from the team store. But I don't know. It feels like grain's going to be like the ugly stepchild that, only a few people are going to work, and it's not going to be, everybody's going to be way more focused on the returns with SPS and with Secret of Pretoria tokens.
The demand may be high in the beginning, though. Sorry, Darkestnyte.
Sure.
I'm saying until seasons come, and now you have winter in Pretoria, and now no grain is growing.
That'll be one of the rule sets for land.
Yeah.
Darkestnyte, your fake world is too real world.
Yeah.
Darkestnyte was just talking. What were you saying earlier? Where there's like, land is going to get destroyed and ravaged through war and a dragon, and then you have to spend a ton of DEC to rebuild it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I thought that was a good idea. As long as the rewards are good.
As long as it's not my keep. I don't want my land getting messed up.
Like my keep is smashed again.
Dude, knowing my RNG, it's always gonna be Area 51. Area 51 is just gonna get visited by the aliens all the time.
Yeah,
and just
it's gonna be all of that stuff.
You can't say that now that you got to keep. Yeah. Your RNG is back to balance.
Fine, sure. You know what? You're right. Yeah. But it's balanced out, which means I'm due for bad RNG. All right, we got a couple minutes here before we wrap up. Let me just see in the chat. Let's see. We got everybody congratulating. You missed the stream, Woody. No worries. I'll try and post a replay of it on my channel as well if you're interested. Skyr saying, I think if land goes to previous all-time high, will it not be much more difficult to sell 1 legendary instead of like 1 common? I mean, or 10 commons. I don't know. I mean, it depends. It's all going to be where the market is.
Right.
But land is going to be its own thing. I mean, Splinterlands could take off, and land's going to be something different and much more similar to Rooney, I would say, than your fungible cards in a sense, right? Like, sure, there's only 87 Archmage, Arius disciples, right? But there's only 1 keep. There's only 1 keep that Darkestnyte owns, or plot of land that you own is one of 1. So we'll go ahead and wrap up here. Any final thoughts? So we can go around the horn, just stuff that you're looking forward to in the next, I don't know, couple of weeks here. I don't think we're going to get land, but you know what? I'm going to make this specific. What are you looking forward to for guilds? Because we do know that there are some changes. So hopefully we'll be getting that within the next month. But we'll start with Tails and Darkestnyte and Walking Keys and close it out.
Yeah, I think they should, as a game, focus on more DEC burning and voucher utility. Take the momentum they've got with land right now, roll out a new promo card for DEC burn, roll out guild buildings for voucher and DEC burn. Let's get the peg, let's get this flywheel thing going, and let's see on the moon.
Yep. Darkestnyte?
I'm looking for just more functionality for guilds, right? It's pretty basic right now. We do brawls. The brawls themselves need to be completely reworked, right? I think that it's good for a version 1.0, but I think it needs to be refined a little bit more.
I think we're getting kicked off. Sorry, Keys. You want to give 5 seconds?
I'm just excited things are growing. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to these three gentlemen for joining me today. I hope you have an awesome rest of your Tuesday night. Nardion should be on next. And yeah, enjoy Split on TV. We gave away 3 bruises, so I think we're going to go. All right. Awesome. Let me go ahead and end.